DHL, you know. DHL is not as weak as great as Baumal Lorries or as small as Baumal Lorries. They are also equal partner in logistics. They have a worldwide presence and nationwide much. So we learn lessons from DHL friends. Now they will update and increase our knowledge. They will talk about DHL and how they can support us in our export. It's
special thanks to Mr. Baheti. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful session. And Sudhir Ghosh.
It was wonderful or not?
It was really very productive and very lots of inputs for the audience. And I am Sudhir Ghosh. I look after the sales and marketing for a part of Calcutta and Orissa. Mr. Satya Sarkarat is our area commercial head for East and Northeast India. So we will take you through our journey of DHL, what we offer to you, how we can assist you in your particular trade and help you to export. And also that taking a cue from Mr. Baheti's fairs that he was doing. DHL is official logistic partners for most of the biggest of the fairs that happens all across the world. So anybody wanting to go to fairs, we are there. We have our entire setup for this.
I have a question. When you say about fair, do you do go to stand delivery?
The stand.
I was unaware.
To and fro.
I was unaware.
Because if it is not to and fro, then customers will be applicable when
It has to be 12.
In fact, today only I have booked a transfer for Delhi to Azerbaijan. We are going to have a show starting 19th. And I am paying a huge amount of money to my fair authorized project.
So now you have our card.
Good. I have it.
Thank you.
One more question.
Is it only for, we are extending only to the international market or for domestic?
International. We will come to everything about it. So good evening, friends. We'll just take you through a short and very learning session.
straight into face.
Good evening, everybody. Let me first thank you, sir, for giving us this opportunity. I'm also taking this opportunity and keep taking this opportunity to thank Calcutta, because I'm new to Calcutta. I've been in Bombay for the last 16 years now, some 3 months in Calcutta, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
You will enjoy.
I'm loving the food.
Enjoy the Durga Puja.
I will. That will be my first Durga Puja here, so I'm planning to do that. So, and thank you very much for everybody for being so patiently listening and asking questions, which is what we normally do not see in seminars where people sit down and let it go. And I'm really
They have exams.
happy that
What they have learned, they have to do, right?
So I hope I will be able to answer, or we would be able to answer your questions. So what I'll do is quickly take you through a little bit about DHL, and then we will again make it as interactive as possible to solve your question. But before I start the presentation, quickly you could say what is your expectation from us, so that during my presentation I keep covering one or two of this. Would you just note down a couple of them? So any expectation from us? कि आज DHL ये बोलेगा या ये मुझे समझ में आ जाए? Anything?
Any special rates for MSMEs or the newcomers?
Okay. Rates?
Because mostly DHL is costly.
Okay.
Then you must express
Offers, pricings and offers and stuff.
Formalities for DHL for India and outside the country.
Formalities as
But if I attend this to Singapore, they are charging, Singapore formalities are there. So that's a
custom formalities.
custom formalities for both places.
Okay.
India
Custom
and
formalities.
Service. actually.
Service. Okay.
End-to-end solution.
End-to-end
logistics.
End-to-end logistics. Okay. Sorry, please. Customs, prices and offers, end-to-end services. Yes.
What are the items you covered and what you don't cover?
Great. What? So our products. What they cover?
Do you provide only air logistics or sea logistics too?
Okay, so that will be a part of the products. I'll cover that.
And you have association with all the famous exhibitions, or you are the official partner always, or some exhibitions are also partners?
We'll cover that too.
Packaging and
Exhibitions, my bad. Good.
Packaging.
Packaging, okay.
So exhibition in Delhi also, you will move up out of Delhi and then go it
And
from.
domestic they have. They are
Domestic.
major domestic there. All major.
But I'll cover that. Okay,
That is what वेहिकल से रफाएना दिल्ली ले जाना वहाँ फिर लेके आना तो वेहिकल रफाएना वो बहुत मेरा इतना आसान.
Great. Well, so we call ourselves international specialists, and the reason we call ourselves international specialists is because we're just not a logistic company. And when I'm saying we, I am representing DPDHL, which is Deutsche Post DHL, which is our global company. So we have one name, that is DPDHL, which is Deutsche Post DHL. We've been renamed now. So earlier we used to write in complete Deutsche Post DHL.
It's a German company.
It's a German. And now we call ourselves DPDHL. So globally, do you have this? Sorry, I didn't get it. No, So, okay. So, as you all know, we are a German company. Deutsche Post, the German postal services is owned by us. Okay. So that's how the main activity is done. DHL supply chain is the supply chain wing of us. It's a separate entity within the brand of DPDHL, and they do the warehousing, milk runnings, and supply chain of any project. So they can also do end-to-end supply chain. They also do one half of the supply chain, 3PL, 4PL, which we have learned in the logistics language. They are the ones which they do. To give an example, if Bata is manufacturing shoes in probably China, DHL supply chain, which is can bring in those shipments from China into India, warehouse it. They may use us as an express or a liner, which is ocean freight, in whichever mode they decide and agree to. Bring it to a warehouse, put it in the warehouse. They will have systems with Bata talking to each other. A shopkeeper in Lansdowne or any other place, one shopkeeper places an order कि 7 number का yellow brown वाला light color shoes is over, lace वाला is over, I need 7 more pieces. That would hit supply chain, they would send it. With that there will be some few more shopkeepers would put their request. It will all come from on a bigger truck to a smaller truck right outside Calcutta, where it will get into smaller vehicles or chota Ace, Tata, Gadi kind of stuff, and get delivered before the shutter opens, and the shop has already those shoes. So that's kind of the job that they do. If you are working in an organization, a small chip that comes in your laptop is supplied by us. So we have customers like the Nikes, the Reeboks, and HPs and IBMs and stuff like that. That's what supply chain does. DHL Global Forwarding, they're into air and ocean freight. So any project movements, large movements in tonners are done by them. So they mostly do activities of ocean freight. There is a lot that they do in air freight as well. And they do port to port, door to door, mostly, kind of. Or depending on the Incoterms, they do those commercial shipment, heavyweight shipments, which is what Global Forwarding does. Here comes DHL Express. We are into the industry of express, which is commonly known as courier. उनको थोड़ा बुरा लगता है, but that's how we have to live it, because commonly known as courier, but the industry is known as express. Our job is to move anything that you give us, from a document to probably an aircraft engine, or anything that we want, from place A to place B, from the place where it is getting ready to the place where it is going to get used to, end to end, door to door, in an express mode. And hence the concepts, sir, as you said, कि ये महंगा होगा. ये महंगा इनसे होता है, yes, because they would wait for the ocean, a liner to get filled up. We wouldn't wait. We would take the right flight out, there are some products called next flight out to move the shipment from place A to place B.
We have our own flights.
We do also have our own flights. And hence, if you compare a rate, if pricing comes to the picture, we would look to be higher because we are using premium. Premium time, premium speed, premium airline, premium in every matter to be there at the place at the right time, the right place at the time you want.
Just
Having said that,
add him, they are 1 day faster.
Sir is giving a compliment. Good, sir.
Am I right?
so, 1 day faster, as in, are you comparing with the freight forwarders?
No, I'm comparing, no, I'm talking about express. You are 1 day faster than any of your fellow competitor, be it DHL, be it FedEx.
So he's telling us that we as DHL Express are almost a day faster in the express industry compared to this. So I would be definitely faster than the freight forwarder.
Let me tell you very frank. Let me tell you very frank. They are bit expensive. They have to admit it. But whenever we need a surety of getting a document, we choose DHL. At the same time, since he is here, the drawback here with them is inland. Up to the point of arrival, you have got all the tracking. But beyond that, once it is with Blue Dart, they know nothing.
I'll address that, sir. Please. Yes, sir.
I have.
Good question.
So for this food that you are saying, we will do packaging as well?
I'll cover that, ma'am. That's one of the points. While I take my charges, I'll answer it. I'll be answering it. So that's about DHL Express. Now in India, we do not have the postal services because in India Post is a government company. We have Blue Dart. Blue Dart is a DHL owned company. And hence the domestic wing of DHL Express or DHL in India is Blue Dart. Anything which is domestic, like Sir asked us, what about, would you do a
Delhi to
Delhi, yeah, Kolkata, Delhi, Kolkata, or any other parts of it, Blue Dart is the one who would be doing that. Having said that, the logistically and operationally, domestic and international are two different subjects. Completely. Operationally, requirement-wise, documentation-wise, by the law of the land, everything is so different that we have kept Blue Dart as a separate entity altogether. So we work separately. Somewhere here the P&L probably gets together, so that's where they count the money out. But anything that happens operationally is done completely separately in India, in their own way. So they have a CEO and we have a CEO of our own, and the operations. We do work together. Areas like Sir said, areas somewhere where DHL is directly not present. So if I have to deliver something in Shillong, Midnapur, and give me some more names here. So
Anywhere in the remote locations, say for example, you have something to get delivered into Nechira or Bardhuma
small
or say Khurda in Orissa. So that has to move through our domestic company.
so that's where we handle it. We also work with them to bring, so they have freighters in this. They have 7 freighters, aircraft to fly only goods carrier. They are not commercial human carrier, so commercial carrier. So they have 7 freighters, and we use them to move our shipments internally as well. So that's how we work operationally. But commercially, and other ways, we are two separate companies. A little bit about DHL in India. We were the first express company which came into India in 1969, I guess. Yeah, 1969. And so somebody came, stayed in the hotel of Taj in Bombay, and to market, he couldn't do much. So he started posting his cards in every room that he was crossing. So he used to drop his cards so that people would see. He then met Cyrus Gazdar, who was running a local courier company called AFL. So we joined hands with them, and that's how DHL Worldwide came to India. In 2002, 2000, DHL came to India and said we will now set up our own offices. We bought back all our shares. From the red and white DHL Worldwide, we became the red and yellow DHL, and that's how DHL Express India Private Limited started running from 2002 onwards. If I have to count the first and the largest and the best, it's a long list of things. As I told you, we are already the first one. So we have pioneered in all the services, export, imports, clearances, UU clearances, you talk any kind of license clearances. We have our gateways, the largest gateways, the number of gateways that we have, the number of airport access that we have is phenomenal. We are in Delhi, we are in Bangalore, we will be soon in Calcutta. So we are already in Calcutta, but we do only cargo clearance. The courier would start soon, in another couple of months. We are in Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Chennai. I'm talking only on the large places where we do export, import clearances both ways. There are a lot of other places that just do.
So CC customs.
No, it's only A.
Only
It's
A.
one A.
Only A.
All.
Custom clearance as well as the wider.
Yes. Wildlife clearance also. Because if I wouldn't do wildlife here in Calcutta, then I'm doing nothing. The leather belt is here, and so is in Agra. So the Agra thing moves into Delhi because there also the wildlife is really good.
Just to give you a cue for what Mr. Rath told, we are into various places of the India where we are doing clearances straight away from the airport for the international connections. So gateway means where your shipment comes in to a particular place
That's what
for
How do you
customs.
handle the customs clearance because 2 or 3 days they are off now.
They take off.
Do you have your direct wait? You do not have to wait.
Wait, so the law of the land will be followed. So I'll come to that when the products are coming. So, and hence we say we are world number 1 logistics service provider, and that is why we keep telling ourselves we are international specialists, because we do not work as a supplier or a vendor. We work with you or work with organizations to partner them, give them solutions, and get these things work out. So, a little bit about our global overview. Go back. So some facts, 220 countries that we cover. No other express service provider can cover that. The next would be probably, the next competitor to us is our own company, which is Global Forwarding, because they almost serve a similar list of companies, because we work, our networks do link each other at a lot of places, and hence they're the closest to us. Just look at the number of shipments per year that we do. 493 million shipments are picked up and delivered in a year by express only. We have close to around 325 own aircrafts and helicopters and stuff like that. Over and above that, we have the joint ventures with Lufthansa and Hong Kong Air and stuff like that, in which we carry our shipments. So, back. Yeah, sorry. One. Yeah. So what you see here are.
I came back to leave. I got some urgent call. They are coming to pick me up. Can you just answer me
Sure.
very smallly? Are you operating from Iran also?
No, we're not. We deliver in Iran. We deliver in
Don't
all.
pick up from.
We do.
I'm getting that.
Sure. Any UN sanctioned countries we are working, is that there are some formalities that has to be made. So
Let them.
what you see here is the DHL hubs and the airports. Now, we work on a hub and spoke method. In a quick way, I would want to explain it to you. A service center is the one which services the area. From the service center, shipments or anything that the product moves and goes to a gateway. Gateway is the place where it gets handed over to an airline to fly over. Okay, so that's a gateway. So every location would have a gateway. Wherever we do clearances. Okay, so Calcutta has a gateway at the airport. We may have multiple service center, but there will be one gateway, because one airport, one gateway in that particular city or that zone. And so there will be lots and lots of gateways. Then we will have hubs. Hubs are the places which are DHL facilities where flights come, shipments move out, and they crisscross each other. Shipments are removed from the pallets, put into one So for example, if I am flying anything from India to US, I will collect everything out of India, take it to Leipzig, and there and remove all the Europe shipments. The US shipments will remain there, and add the Europe shipments which have been picked up to US, put it in that and move it over. Okay, so those were the hubs. So we have some major global hubs. There are three. Those the big ones that you see are global, the large global hubs, and the dots that you see are the main regional hubs. So there are multiple of them, and some of the airports where we have our direct access as per our aircrafts, and hence they have been also noted down there. Now, so now that you have understood the hub and spoke and the gateways and everything, I'll quickly show you a video which will clarify everything. No.
One thing I tell you again, this hub and spoke, you don't feel that the cargo gets stuck up. It moves like water. If it is reaching 2 o'clock at hub, if any flight is available 3:20 in the night, also the cargo will go. I have very good experiences that documents leaving Hong Kong at 5 o'clock have been delivered at Delhi banks at 10 o'clock. Bombay and Delhi, two places.
I hope the audio will be clear.
It's early evening, and for most businesses across Europe, it's coming to the end of the working day. For DHL, the work's only just begun. By the time each of our customers returns to work in the morning, we will have transferred hundreds of thousands of shipments overnight through our worldwide network and have them ready to be delivered. But, as you can imagine, it's not quite that simple. There are many potential challenges that will test the resilience of our people and the reliability of our operation. So each day, as shipments are collected in cities in every European country, we plan, prepare, and make sure that everything is ready. And as our customers finally go home, we go to work.
The video is mostly a European specific one, but the same logic applies everywhere.
The DHL European network, consisting of gateways, which are DHL airport and border terminals spread across Europe, where shipments leave or enter a country, and hubs, international sorting centers, which receive shipments from the gateways, sort them, and feed them back to the final destination. A shipment's route and schedule through the network varies. It is transferred from origin to destination via the most efficient combination of gateways and hubs. And its journey between each point is pre-alerted by a series of electronic signals, which carry data on each ship and travel through the network ahead of the shipment's arrival, ensuring its immediate transit, tracking its progress, and pre-clearing its route through customs. It's a carefully controlled sequence of events, which begins every night as the shipment passes through its origin gateway.
These are our gateways.
control room keeps a constant watch on the entire operation, and any contingencies to counter challenges such as bad weather, technical problems, or airport closures are assessed and put into action. The transfer of electronic information around the network each night is the lifeblood of its ability to function, allowing customers round-the-clock real-time tracking of each individual shipment on the internet. It also enables accurate monitoring of shipment volumes, expected payloads, and transportation requirements. By the time shipments arrive at the various hubs, the operations are prepared and the team is ready to go.
These boxes are called UND.
Sorting processes and systems vary depending on the type of shipment, its size, and its weight, integrating new technologies to meet network growth.
Automated sorting machines. So the management of event of your
Just a few hours later, all the shipments have been sorted and are on their way to their final destination. The data was sent ahead to the destination gateways, and the hub operations can begin to wind down. Arrival at the destination gateway, and the shipments pre-cleared through customs are sorted for delivery and are immediately on their way to the customer.
India, it's a pre-clear, and I'll explain
It's
first.
first thing in the morning, and all over Europe, DHL shipments are delivered, ready for the start of the working day. And the DHL European network can relax. Its job done until tonight. When it will be time to do it all over again.
The video that we had was of the European network video. the same thing, same facility, same standard of work is there in
Almost every
location.
So coming back to India, these are the places where we are directly present and we are co-present with Blue Dart in multiple other locations. Move on. That's the time. So this is our air network. Shipments which are moving out of India. We have 4 freighters coming into these 2 locations. This presentation was made when we had 3. And other than that, we use a lot of commercial airlines directly from Bombay and Delhi and other places. So we have freighters coming from Singapore, 2 of them, which moves from Bangalore, Hong Kong, Delhi, and then to Leipzig and Frankfurt. Shipments which are coming from, so I keep saying that, east and west. So anything that comes from west either goes to Bangalore or Delhi, other than the commercial ones which are directly moving into Bombay, because Bombay we don't have any aircraft coming in. So the 4 freighters, 19 flights weekly into these places, plus there are other commercial airlines that we use. Clearance capability, to answer your questions. So courier and cargo clearances in Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai, and cargo clearance at Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Cochin and Kolkata. Now this will also have, Ahmedabad and Calcutta will now move into courier clearances also. Courier clearances for the smaller parcels which are not commercial in nature, and in case they are even commercial, we have consolidated bill of entries and hence it makes faster. Now the biggest challenge in the biggest advantage of courier clearance is the weight of the shipments are lesser and also the value, which is below 1 lakh. The shipment gets cleared in jiffy because we do clearance on air, the one that you heard on the video. Clearance on air is when we take information from you on the air bill and the invoices, we scan them and send it to the destination. So if it is an import, we get it. If we are exporting it, we send it. In those countries, they make a manifest, or I would say a list, which would inform that here is an exporter, here is the importer, his import-export numbers are so and so, the parcel content so and so, the value is such, would you want to check? So the custom officer would go through the whole list and probably do a 10%, 15% depending on the country rule, put it on the check. It's maximum, there are only 2 countries which has cargo and courier clearance differences, which is India and Malta, but otherwise they all have one clearance procedure and they just go through, check some 10 odd shipments or 10% of it, rest everything is clear. Duty laga, bahar. These are for all shipments which are below 1 lakh and 70 kilos and below, 1 piece. So clearance on air helps us mileage 4 until I'm sure it's certification.
I want to ask something.
Sure.
So in case for e-commerce businesses, so if I'm selling something and somebody in US has purchased the item online, so how does that happen? I mean, if the product reaches US, I am not aware if they'll be charging any duties, custom currencies.
Would you add B2C? Because that was in my mind, I wanted to cover that, because in handicrafts, that is the thing to get it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
B2C is business to consumer.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I can answer that, but you quiet.
I'll have that answer. It is a good topic to be in, and I'll tell you. Move on. So there are umpteen number of people that we have. It's all about our capability. So keep moving. We have custom brokers of our own. We have a license of our own office, because as an international express service provider, you cannot have your own license. But Skyline is an Indian company, wing of DHL Express, who owns a thing, and they do exclusive work for DHL Express. Other than that, we have so many shipments that we have to also have external CHs, those who exclusively do work for us, not for any other thing. So we have our processes, formal clearances, we have trained staff, shipments which keep going. We work very closely with the authorities to get permissions and to get new things. For example, I will tell you, ADC NOC is one important thing from textile industry. Now what we've done is a team of DHL Express went in and said that you keep holding all the shipments for ADC NOC. It doesn't make any sense because when we are importing a lot of shipments, there are countries those by rule they do not break anything. They don't use dyes or chemicals of some natures which is banned in their country. If it is banned in their country, it will never come through. So why don't you give us permission to clear those shipments? So customs has allowed shipments from specific countries to be cleared without ADC NOC, provided the importer gets a certification from the customs. You have to put a request, an application saying they are importing from such and such countries and no other countries. These shipments should be allowed to be cleared without ADC NOC. You get a clearance, you all need a stamp from them and share that document to the customs and return.
How you do manage the key copy money with customs people and bill it to us? It's a very commercial question, I must say.
So
Because without that nothing moves, no matter what it is.
Thing is, we being DHL Express, we have a brand to it. And we create facilities and infrastructures for them to have.
So,
for example,
on the goodwill, for the goodwill only you get it clear without any money paid?
no, we don't.
No, I know you don't pay. I know.
DHL, because we cannot do it in the system, so there is no hard cash, money, gifts, nothing. That we do. But yeah, we have an event, we sponsor an event, we call them Ram. So for example, we have an event called an SM.
One thing, what if DHL is doing so much of work here in India for clearances on a global basis, why not you take up certain causes like, when we send samples to some countries, the custom imposes a duty. Sample is even if a catalog, if I say, they impose a duty. And no importer wants to pay for the duty. So how to solve that? So in fact, pre-consignment have paid confirmed payment of duty today also, that you pay.
So there are some country rules. For example, Dubai would add a duty for any and every shipment above a particular value, weight and value, and so that the things move faster. For them, things should move faster in that they cannot get stocked and block their warehouse and stuff like that. So there are standard duty charges that we do. So if your importer is not ready to pay the duty, there are products that we have which is called DTP, duty delivery taxes. Sorry, duty taxes paid. So if you opt for duty taxes paid, the duty amount is billed back.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is what I have done today also.
Yeah. There is, for Europe we have a bag also, so in which you pay the duties and the taxes. The VAT is charged to the customer because they have a VAT refund.
Yes.
So that can be also done.
Alright.
But as the custom rules goes, they will follow the rules by till the tip of the
I'll
nose.
catch you.
No problem.
I'm sorry dear. You all have my number. If anybody wants to talk to me or contact me, unfortunately, I left my bag.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I will give it.
Thank you, sir.
So a quick look on our network view, how much days that we take. Anything to Singapore, UK and UAE, Brussels, Hong Kong, we take a day to deliver. 2 days to the other locations. Transit time again is a subjective thing depending upon the location that you are, the zip code. Is it in Calcutta or 20 kilometers away from Calcutta? Does makes a difference. Move on. Some global products, and I'll quickly take you through this. It's purely the two larger products, export and import. In export we have time definite deliveries. So what these means is we will deliver on or before that time when we export shipments. Export express is all about your commercial shipments when we do cargo clearance and send it across to them. So we also have medical clearance, global mail. Global mail is a service where you want to cover a market, you want to just do a mailing services to them. You have a database. You don't want to spend as much as a courier would want to go through. This is like one leg of courier and the next leg is postal services. Because their postal services are much better, is what I've been told. I've never tried that, but so it goes to US and then in US it's put into US postal services, and hence you will probably pay 1/5 of or 1/3 of the price of the courier. Your transit time goes from 2 to 3 days to 7 to 11 days. But it's an advertising thing. Whether it may reach, may not reach, doesn't matter. You're covering a larger database. For those items, it's global mail. We do exhibitions. Somebody had a question on exhibitions. Okay, you had an understanding. So on exhibitions, what we do is we partner with a lot of exhibitions, the larger ones. We either become the sole supplier or logistic partner. There are times when we do not become the logistic partners because of different reasons. But having said that, we being DHL, we do take time, and our logistics is planned in such a way that the shipment does get delivered in the stalls. So, for example, he is a sole logistic partner or the official logistic partner, and I am DHL and not the logistic partner. In that case, he may get this Sunday delivery because Monday the exhibition starts. I might have to deliver it on Saturday.
So you manage that.
We manage it. Both inbound and outbound clearances, duty-free clearances, whatever gets sold off or used, they get deducted. You pay that much more duty while coming back.
And if it is within the country, the blue card will take over.
That's blue card. So that's separate. Domestic is something which we do not do. As in me or Trideh would not be able to help you. DHL Express will not be able to help you. We can definitely give you names of people those are in blue card. We can help you with this. All that I can cover is Express. So that's about exhibition Express. Medical Express is when we do the TCL, which is temperature control. So you do 6 degrees, below 6 degrees, 0 degrees, minus 120 degrees, 20 degrees. We provide packaging. So now, who had a question on packaging? Yeah. You also had a question on packaging. So when we say packaging, it's again a huge subject in itself. We have some standard packaging that we give. We give boxes, we give flyers. Flyers are one in which your document should go. They take to a weight of 2 kilos and not more than that of documents. For parcels, we have standard boxes of 10, 15, 20 and 20 kilos with 25 kilos also, wherein you can, depending on what material you have, the weight goes into that boxes. So these are 5-ply good steady carton boxes. There is another packaging solution that we give for exporting is the pallets, and these pallets are being supplied by us, which has 2 weight categories. One is a 50 kilo, the other one is a 100 kilo, which can be opened to make 100 kilo or hold it and make it 50 kilo. So that packaging is also provided to us. Beyond that, now if you say that okay, I am sending out glass material, will you give me bubble wrap? No, ma'am, I do not provide bubble wraps. But would you give me boxes to fit in? Yes, we will give you boxes. But will it be customized? No, ma'am, it cannot be customized because everybody would have a different size to put in. So I have, as I told you, flyers, corrugated boxes and pallets of some standard sizes which can be used to ship your shipments. You may cut them to fit your requirement, you may open it to fit your requirements, but beyond that you would not. So,
Yeah, so you provide the material and not that your people who come in with the company.
no.
Only the material.
Only the material.
So you charge for those packages?
No, we don't. We don't charge you for these packages which I talk about.
The customers will get material with the packaging or without packaging?
Sorry?
Suppose we put something in your package, you deliver including the package?
Yes.
So like if you have anything to fit in, say if you're sending a courier as
Standard
sample
sizes.
or a commercial shipment where you need some standard size boxes, we have standard size boxes, we can provide it to you free of cost. So you can use those boxes, or we have flyers. Flyers means a plastic pouch, you might have seen, which gets it, you can fit it and then the tip, you can seal it. It has a tape,
It's got
adhesive tape.
It's an adhesive. These are waterproof, opaque.
This will
And-
be free of cost.
This
Yes,
everything
okay.
is packaging.
And-
Standard packaging is given free
तो
of
हम
cost.
इंडिया में करते हैं तो ब्लू डार्ट भी क्या बॉक्सेस प्रोवाइड करता है?
Blue Dart में भी boxes है and flyers है. I don't know whether they give it free of charge or not. I think they charge, but they do have. They do also have standard boxes and the flyers which they have.
But
Your boxes are also waterproof.
No, I was talking about the flyers.
But if you are operating from a metro location, then you have direct DHL centers where you get DHL. But say suppose you are not in a metro location, where in non-metro location, as I told you earlier. Say maybe in a place called Khurda or in a place called Mecheda or Asansol, where you might have to take Blue Dart, but there you can always get packaging for the market also. Need to be- From a metro location, you can always Google assist you.
तो बॉक्सेस को भी वाटरप्रूफ आप करते हैं कि हमें खुद वैसे पैकेजिंग करना पड़ेगा वैसे?
It all so it all seasonal. So अगर आप बारिश में दे रहे हैं या it's winter in Europe, it's advised that you shrink wrap them. Okay. But in our network, in by chance or in any situation we realize that there are times it happens. The customer feeds in a lot of weight into the box, and the box gives up after some time. We do shrink wrap them. But these are precautionary, so that as a shipper or an importer, you don't say claim on me saying that you've broken my shipment.
As
So
we
we do repacking, we do put it into a new box, fit it in, tape it, shrink wrap it, and other things. But these are again precautionary and not as standard offerings.
Just to sum up, as you said, as you saw in the video, that any damaged packaging is being reinforced. Might have seen that a damaged packing, some woman was doing a reinforcement. So that is done in the network itself. Chances of which your concern was whether it gets wet or not. It's I have, in my 15 years, I have not seen any shipment getting wet in DHL network because we don't keep anything out in the open. That's absolutely against our global standards. Even in our service center, our state-of-art service center in Kolkata, we cannot keep any shipment on the ground. We have special pellets, we have special platforms, we have to keep the shipment. And that is followed worldwide. Whether it is Calcutta or whether it is a remote place, maybe in Uganda, same standard is being followed. Not final DHL shipment.
So, is there any questions on any of these products? Okay, I'll just quickly tell you about the Jetline. We also it has multiple names. We call it same day. The next flight, NFO. This is purely for industries where it is very time sensitive or life sensitive. So I'll tell you some industries. Medical. When you carry samples, blood samples. Airline. When an airline goes on ground, they spend close to around $10,000 per hour is the loss if it gets grounded. It means they cannot fly. So if they cannot fly, they have to pay the airport authorities. They have to give back the tickets, and plus over and over that the branding goes for it all and stuff like that. So 10,000 is only the tangible cost that they bear, and hence it is very important. They can just pay anything, or they just want the shipment to be delivered to them at the next moment, as of yesterday wali situation. So these are where we do the next flight out. The reason we call it next flight out is whatever the next possible flight is available, we use that to bring the shipment. We take 24 hours for 24, 28, 32 hours depending on where it is coming from. One small part to probably an engine is carried to do this activity, and hence it's a very premium service which is called Jetline or NFO. Break bulk, I'm sure most of you know, these are project movements when shipments come or goes from here, lands in a place, we break it there, put the MRP there, and then send it out to the shops or anything, depending upon what kind of volumes that you have. What else?
You deal in perishable goods also?
No. So there is a list of things that we do not carry because 80% of our shipments travel in commercial airlines. Even after having all the freighters that you saw, 80% of the shipment travels in commercial airlines because some of the other like the commercial airlines use. while I might use a freighter between one hub to the other hub, but from the hub to the gateway there will be commissioning.
This is a mixed line. Mixed.
So
And it's
how
implemented.
fast do you go from Calcutta to UAE?
UAE?
Because sometimes it goes to Singapore and then goes to UAE.
भेजना क्या है? Is it a document?
Also, it's about the commercial concern.
And of what weight?
500, 700, 800, 1000 kgs.
They may take between 3 to 4 days, depending on what content you
But
need.
it goes to Singapore first and then to UAE.
So it's because of the connection.
No, there is a connection from Mumbai also. Right? You don't have any arrangement from Calcutta to Mumbai and
They
then
don't
to
which airline would take a 500 kilo shipment one piece from Calcutta to Bombay with the
500 ठीक है, it can be 1000 and plus consignment तो बड़ा ही होता है.
तो कोई एयरलाइन है ही नहीं ना जो ले जा सकता. Any commercial airline आज की तारीख में आप Go ले लो, Jet ले लो, Spice ले लो, they will not take any shipment which is one piece 100 kilo and above with the standard size of 120 by 120 by 120. उसके अलावा वो लोग लेते ही नहीं. So I have to depend on a Blue Dart who has a freighter. The Blue Dart freighter doesn't travel like this; they move like this, horizontal. So they start from Chennai and Bangalore, move to either Bombay, Pune, Ahmedabad, Delhi, Calcutta, and the return is also similar. So अगर मैं इनके ऊपर डिपेंड करके बॉम्बे लेके जाऊँ फिर फ्लाइट करूँ तब तक आपको 2 दिन में नहीं मिलेगा.
फास्टर होता है. जब मैंने डीजल यूज किया, सिंगापुर होके जा रहा है, हर बार क्लाइंट बोलता है कि why you give ये पूरा वर्ल्ड घूम के आ रहा है. Why don't you take time from other suppliers are taking time to they are sending Bombay and then from there to
We will look into it. There could be a possibility of connection errors which we can definitely rectify. I mean, I know that I am the international specialist, but I cannot vouch that I am 100% correct and in my network nothing goes wrong. I can't be, right? I can't even be a Six Sigma. I'm sure a lot of people would know. I can't be Six Sigma because I'm not a manufacturing unit. I am depending on human intervention at every place, and it's not mechanical at every place. Sorting may be human, because not every place is has an automated sorting machine. So our Six Sigma is, it can't be Six Sigma. It will probably 3 or 4 Sigma. Okay, move on. So it goes deeper into the details about the product, which is about Express 9, when we give you a money back guarantee because it has a premium. So you have a rate plus a premium to have the shipment delivered at 9. Tender hai, sample hai, T-testing hai. You want it to reach by 9 AM, please use this product. So there is a 12 noon also. So it all depends whether the country has this facility also. Like in Calcutta, we do not offer 9 AM, but we can offer this.
Like,
but in that too, in some pin codes. Move on.
like if you are some of you in your company is participating in a fair. Now somebody asks for a sample which you know that it's there in the works, in your back at your home or in your place. So you can call up your counterpart in Calcutta or wherever you are, ship that shipment using this service so that it gets delivered to your fairground before 12 o'clock when the fair opens. So these are some premium fast moving products that we have for you.
Move on. This is about document. We call it worldwide document when you are moving documents. You see this? It's talk about the flyer which is tamper proof and plastic flyers packaging that we offer. Parcels are called non-doc in our network, and hence it's called, you see N-doc written here.
This is something which you will be using maximum when you will become an exporter, or many of you who are already exporting. So, for sending your samples or your commercial shipments.
Import. One important and a very important product of ours, and I can vouch and say that no one knows import the way we know in India or across the globe, I would say. The way the Import Express product is there with us. We've been doing it for ages, and in India we do clearances, the import-inbound clearances pretty well because we have our own gateways and hubs. There are premises where at airports where the customs sits in our premises to do the clearances and everything. It's an official job they come, do the clearances in premises and go ahead and do it. You know? So a quick one on that. So it's a small comparison from a traditional service provider like a freight forwarder or any other. You have to go through a multiple channels to make a shipment. Now this, I would say, you can also use it in your export formula. If you use a traditional exporter, traditional service provider, which is freight forwarder or any other service provider, then you as a supplier have to transport the goods to the gateway, get it cleared, give it to a forwarder who would move it, it will reach there, the custom agent will clear the shipment, and then there will be custom clearance there will be transported and then they will deliver it to you. It's an import, it can also go the other way when you are exporting. What we do is, next, you don't have to worry all days. We do, because this whole activity is taken care by me. I pick it up from your supplier, I clear it at the origin, I bring it through my own network, I clear it at the destination, and I go and deliver it to you. And similarly, if you are exporting, we would be doing, so you become a supplier here, we will carry it from you, we will clear it here in India at the clearance in our gateways, we will transport it in our connections, through our connections and the hubs and spokes, we will do the clearance at the destination, we will take it and deliver it, including the duties, which we will pay on your behalf, and then later on the revenue.
It's a good service.
That's why we say ourselves that we are door-to-door, end-to-end.
Because in most of the cases, the freight forwarder and other carriers, they will call up, you have so much of duty pending, pay us, we are releasing your goods. Many of them say, if you are not in station, many of times you are traveling. So what to do? Shipment remains there and people working in your office do not have an authority to sign a check. What do you do daily? Shipment gets in. This is a very common scenario with most of the carriers and most of the people, those who do imports or.
So the disadvantage is, you anyways will pay the duty. You pay it to me or you pay it to anybody. But the disadvantage, if it stays at the customs, you are paying damageable.
Exactly, warehousing and damageable.
Right?
So we will pay the duty up to 1.5 lakh upfront from our pocket. We will bring it across to you. We will collect the money and
so that,
ship it. So that you don't waste time and money in warehousing and
move on to the next thing.
importing is something just to connect it with your trade. Say a lot of stuffs are being imported from outside for making your handicraft products. I can recall many other things like from fabrics to zaris or from buttons to decorative items from China, Hong Kong, even many things, even feathers, some non-prohibited feathers. So that's, you can use our.
So what it means is, you have one account which you can use, one account for import. So everything gets done there. One invoice, one currency. The best part is, we quote your price in INR, and that's it. That INR pricing is what we will do. There's no currency adjustment surcharges, so clearance is in INR, freight is in US dollar or euro depending on where it comes, and then there is which day did you move, will the day you moved it or the day it has been delivered. Forwarders normally take the advantage of the
currency
whichever is higher,
fluctuation.
you know.
The currency fluctuation is something, you have placed an order some 15 days back, USD was 60, it moved to 62 rupees, 64 rupees, that difference you'll have to pay for forwarders, which we don't.
Okay. It's very simple. You have a freight cost, you have a clearance in case it's a commercial item, in case, and the fuel surcharge and service tax. That's it.
Can you explain that part?
ICCL?
ICC.
Okay. For the rest of the thing, these are few of the clearances that we are doing. Most of the ones, license scheme clearances. A lot of people have different kinds of license. Import license scheme, EPCG.
Like for handicraft, you can, lots of shipments we are importing under license means where the duty amount is far lesser or there is a duty holiday by the government given. Because you are manufacturing the stuff in India, employing people in India, and you are exporting it back. Like one of the chairperson of this council gets the import and do it under license clearance to us. Where either there is a zero duty or there is a 1%, 2% very less duty. special scheme by the government given as a assistance towards you or promoting your trade.
Incentive.
Incentive. That's it.
There are UUs, export-oriented units, where you only manufacture to do export and hence you get clearances, but those have a different process of clearances. So that's what also we do. Aviation is everything to do. And all aviation guys would keep asking for everything under the sky that they want to bring in as duty free. They do also have some duties levied on them. That's our responsibility to see that they don't evade the duties. But aviation has a specific kind of clearances which we do. Statutory body NOCs like in ADC NOC, wildlife, what else? There are a few more statutory.
Like feathers, like wildlife.
Wildlife. For wood, you need to have an NOC if you have wood articles and handicraft. Repair return is a formula where you send a shipment from here to a different country, get it repaired and bring it back. You get a tax holiday because you can bring it back within 180 days. So you send it, get it repaired, bring it back, and those shipments your duties would not be charged or levied, provided you have followed the process of clearances. So we do that for you. Temporary import or ATA garment is used in exhibitions. Those clearances are done by us. Temporary import is done for exhibitions again. High sea sales is a type of business wherein
On-road trading.
yeah, while the shipment is in air,
selling.
while the shipment is in air, the consignee changes.
Commodity exchange.
What is your exact goal in that?
So we do that kind of thing. So for example, so high sea sale is in a broader way. We can also call it a triangular trade. We do the clearances. So what happens?
Transit sale. On the way to transit.
Clear it on in one invoice, goes to a different country, gets delivered on a different invoice.
This is a very good business. There are big companies that are involved. You know the price falls because of the commodity and because of the rules and government rules.
He inverse the heights where from I buy
Sorry?
the information. This is the height.
It's hidden.
Yeah, it is. So what happens is you are a trader. So there is no hanky-panky here. You are a trader, you sitting in India. You got a buyer somewhere in Singapore or Japan who wants to buy something. You got a seller who is sitting in US. So आपने उससे खरीदा 100 रुपए में, इसको बेचना है 150 रुपए में. 100 रुपए का इन्वॉइस है तो उसके पास पहुंच जाएगा. He'll know who is the buyer, who is the seller. So your invoice has to go, but the shipment did not come to India. क्योंकि आपको यहाँ मंगाना है, फिर यहाँ से वहाँ भेजना है, वहाँ से वहाँ जाए. So it happen. The clearance should happen on $100 because वहाँ पे भी तो export clearance है. तो $100 पे होगा, and when it gets delivered, वो clearance के $100 में होने के बाद gets delivered.
This is a very interesting business. Right now,
काफी nascent है. We hardly have customers, but we have the
Need some consignment